Well, now we're going to tell you that I guess I did it right this morning, or almost right this morning. I don't know. Uh, Red Friday Morning Caffeine with Dave Goldman, that's me, and Randall Rhodes, who is the co host. And yeah, he's even allowed to talk.
Yeah, as long as he leaves his hands off his microphone.
I will leave my, well, yeah, okay, I leave my hands off my microphone, but we had a laugh last night on the American Rebellion where I finally realized that there is a camera button next to my mic so I can turn my camera off.
Yeah,
So at
yeah.
8 o'clock, that's
Isn't technology good? Because I can do the same thing. I can be here in the dark.
you can. But I do
Speaking
it.
of technology,
I do
speaking
it at 8 o'clock at night rather than just swallow pills. And everybody knows I take the 8 o'clock dose, so there's really no reason to do it other than making sure the alarms don't interrupt the broadcast if I'm on the American Rebellion or another night broadcast. But speaking of what?
Speaking of technology, and then we'll get to why we're here dressed in red.
Okay.
I love this desk I have. It's a beautiful oak desk I got for free. It weighs like 200 pounds, uh, and but it does have limitations. And one limitation is I have a friend, and you have a mutual friend, and he has a microphone that's attached to an arm, which is connected by a clip to the edge of his table or desk wherever he uses. So
Yep.
I'm not sure if he's watching or not, but it clips to his desk table. Okay.
Yep.
Unfortunately, my desk doesn't have any lips for me to get a similar arm to place my microphone on. So my microphone is on this tabletop stand. And it's good for my son. I love it. It's a phenomenal microphone. It sounds really good. It has all kinds of features. But if I move it out of the way of because they say your mouth should be one fist away from the microphone
Yep.
for the best sound. So if I decide to move the microphone out of the way so I can type, I think I still have a bad connection somewhere because then I lose audio and I got to bounce out and bounce back in. So I would love to make some changes to what we call my studio / office and have an arm that I can have my microphone up. I can just push microphone out of the way when I'm done. But that being said, AI is getting too damn smart. Okay.
Damn smart.
I don't know if it's because of a recent update on my computer or what, but let me show you guys something. I can show this to you. It just happened to pop up after one of my updates, and I'm afraid to touch the damn thing. Hold on. Let's see. Do you see that? Hold on. Let's get this out of the way. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. Do you see that?
Yes.
That popped up in the corner. And it does all kinds of neat shit. That'll take me days to figure out what to do with it. Plus it moved all my folders over here, and I can't put them back to where they go because then they go right back. Watch this. Boom! It goes right back.
Okay. We're going to turn that off for a moment, and we're going to bring. Well, no, we turned you off. Huh. We didn't mean to turn you off. Okay, turn you. And we're going to turn this. And if it works today, because we paid our bills, so if it works, Ray Figgins from the Patriots Lab will be with us this morning. And we welcome everybody on the Patriots Lab Network to be as highly entertained as they usually are. Anyone else that wants to join us is welcome to. We're live on my profile on Facebook, and if you come in there, you might see the YouTube link, which is www.morning.com/@Dave Goldman. Good morning, Ray. How are you?
Oh, Ray.
Oh,
Ray.
Ray. Oh, Ray. I heard the good morning, and then I.
I'm great. How are you, gentlemen?
He's
Oh, okay.
fro-
Yep,
he's
you froze for a minute there, but it is an open
One,
table
two. Can you
aside
hear me?
from yes,
yes.
yes. It is an open
Can you hear
table
me?
today on what you want to discuss. We can hear you. We can
Yes, we
see
can hear you.
you too.
I don't think he can hear us. That's why I keep saying it.
Okay,
Why don't you text him that we can't hear him?
I can't do that. I just have to go over here.
One,
There, I can hear you.
one. Can you hear me?
Go here. Yes,
No,
yes, I can hear you.
we
Can
can
you
hear you,
hear
but you
me?
can't hear
One,
us.
two.
Okay,
One,
so Ray
two.
can't
One,
hear
two.
us. I can hear you, but
Is it my? One, two.
it is your microphone.
One, two.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Why does the chat?
Or
I
that.
can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, then everything is working. So disregard the message that you might get.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. All right. So then we're good to go. So we
You.
will open. Okay.
Yeah, you're on like a 10-second lag.
Okay. I don't know why he should be in. I have no lag, so I don't know why. Meaning that I don't send one out, other than maybe Restream might send one out, but
William,
I
why
don't-
don't you just talk and see what happens?
I do not know. Anyway,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Are you issues this?
We are doing political issues, and we're going to open with Red Friday like we always do. No video today, just a quick overview of what Red Friday is, and then we would go into the usual drink coffee and have fun, which is open to any
Can you hear
topic.
me, Randy?
Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay. The only thing I can recommend is go out, come back in, Ray, and see if you pick up the audio connection that it looks like you are missing. Sorry I did that. Ray Fagan's Patriots Lab. Hopefully we'll come back and we'll pick up the audio that he is missing. I don't have a delay for guests. I just don't believe in it. Say what you mean what you say, and if I get kicked off because they don't like what I did on one network, then I guess I'm not on that network anymore, and I will be someplace else. But anyway, Randy, do you want to tell what Red Friday is, or
Yeah, it means I got my white shirt mixed in with my red stuff, and when it came out of the laundry, it was red.
that's
No.
not funny?
You know,
Well, actually, it is.
it has happened. Trust me. I
Yeah.
like white. I have white, gray, blue, black, and red T-shirts,
Okay.
and my daughter did the white wash, and it came out red. So,
Okay.
but anyways, it says I forget the exact reason what RED stands for, but what something.
Remember everyone.
Remember everyone deployed.
Thank you.
So it's primarily geared towards the military. And I follow a young lady on Instagram who, if she has some medical issues, that she would love to be in the military, but the medical issues prevents her from doing so. But
Okay.
she does all these really neat short podcasts about all the various military organizations that we have. But she
Okay.
also will do highlights to individuals in the military. If you send information to her, she'll
Right.
do a shout out to them.
Right.
They're really cute. They're really informative. And uh, when you think about the military as an organization, people look at the military and say, "Oh, well, it's a guy with a gun, it's a guy in a tank, it's a guy in a plane." But it actually goes way beyond that. It's almost like a country within the military government because you have all these different men and women doing different types of jobs, repair of the plane, repair of the cars, the trucks, maintenance, groundwork, education, all kinds of stuff
Yep.
that anybody who wants to better themselves, have a decent paycheck, and good insurance, and so forth, can join the military. And right now is the time to do it because you got a president in the White House, and they who loves the military. They changed the title to Secretary of War. That I really
Mhm.
like. Gives me a throwback to the days of the Saxons and the Anglos going toe to toe. But it's a way that for those of us who remember to keep in mind the men and women who are wearing a military uniform, no matter what branch you're in,
Right.
because they never know when the time comes to be caught up. And it's not just that. It's the guy who works in the commissary who's outside peeling potatoes for 1,000 men and women, or is
Mhm.
this the guy inside cleaning the pots and pans?
Right.
They all are trained on how to use a weapon because you never know when your base might be overthrown, and you have to pull to get that gun and go out there and start shooting. It's
Right.
kind of like when Pearl Harbor happened, and you had that young black sailor who was in the kitchen. He Someone has a live Facebook.
Okay. That might have been it, but I don't know. I don't.
So
No. Hold on. Okay. All right.
So it's like that young black man who was on the I forget what the name of the ship was, but he was in downstairs in the kitchen preparing the food for the crew when the attack occurred. He ran upstairs and he grabbed onto that machine gun, whatever you want to call it, and he started shooting the crap out of the Japanese coming down. I think he actually successfully shot one down. But it goes to show that no matter what your job is in the military, when the time comes to be called upon, you're grabbing the nearest gun or pistol or whatever weapon's nearest to you, and you're going out there and you're going to defend your fellow man and your
right.
country.
Right.
So we have to remember that uh, these men and women they volunteered. Okay, they weren't forced into the military like some countries do,
Right.
and they're there because they love their country and they think that our country is worth defending. So, folks, if you know somebody who's in the military, who was in the military but retired, give them a shout out.
Yep.
Give them call them on the phone, text them, send them a card with some nice thoughts on it.
Right.
Just remember them.
Send me a message with their name on it, and we will make the shout out, or we will welcome them to join us on the broadcast. As Randy said, we do pay our respects to the men and women of the United States military, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, Space Force, and as well as the men and women of ICE, the men and women that are first responders along with them. We're not getting political here as to what ICE may be doing right now. We're just sending the salute out. And you're more than welcome to join us on the broadcast, or you're more than welcome to join us in the chat room and or let me know, and we will make sure that it gets announced on the broadcast. We've had several people before with us that that have taught us this, and we still try to do it. Good morning, Ray. How are you? Good morning, Ray. 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 Can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you. We've always heard you. You are freezing, so I don't know. Off and on, I don't know if the weather is bad where you are or if the connection is bad. That I don't know. I can hear you. Okay. The all I can guess is that the connection is up on your end, and join us if you can connect with us. But what else do you have today, Randy?
Turn the microphone back on.
You got to turn your mic back on.
Yeah, I started muting myself because I played back one of my own personal broadcasts from a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I didn't realize this is going to be embarrassing. I didn't realize just how I sound when I take a slip,
Well, I'm sure everybody sounds bad.
and when I was listening, like slurp,
Well,
slurp. So I started muting myself when I take a swig. Well, okay, here's something new you probably didn't know about. Okay, so again, this is probably going to cast me some flack, but I don't care because I don't understand. I love my president. I truly, truly do.
Okay.
I just don't understand. In a way, I can understand he's doing it for us. Okay. So he's in this land grab for like Greenland, Mexico, Cuba, the Panama Canal. And now he wants control of something called the Chagos Islands. Okay. So a couple of days ago, back in the 60s, England went and took control of this fairly large island. There was 10,000 citizens living on that island.
Okay.
The English kicked them off the island and built this military base. And then, to be nice to us, they allowed us to build our secret, which is no longer a secret, military base on this said island. So now, after all these years, the English decided to give back the island to the citizens of this island, but there are none. Okay. So the United States is happy as shit because now we have a 99-year lease on this island to improve, enlarge, and make our secret military base, we're no longer secret, bigger and better. So he's doing that. And meanwhile, he's trying to bring peace to Russia, Ukraine, and some other countries because Russia's trying to take back land which they claim is theirs. We're saying no, it's not yours, blah blah blah. But here we are trying to grab all this territory because we want to make sure that we're safe and make sure that other people are safe.
Right.
But isn't that what Russia's trying to do? To grab that land to make sure that their people are safe?
I believe so, but I don't understand the Russia-Ukraine war anymore and really don't follow it anymore because the last that I heard was that Mr. Putin had been awarded everything he wanted and Mr. Zelensky had not. And that was the end of the war as far as the United States was concerned. Then I heard that the United States was not staying in and trying to broker a peace anymore because Zelensky was mad about this and Putin might be mad about that. And that the three of them could no longer be the three of them. How we got into it other than Joe Biden sent people there, we sent people there, Joe Biden sent pallets of cash there, we sent pallets of cash there. Obviously 20 years was something we couldn't win. And we couldn't win for the Ukrainians. And so I just I just don't even follow it anymore, really. But I'm sure, yes, the land grabs are on their side too. You know, the Russians are going to grab as much as they can to return it to Mother Russia, I guess.
Um,
Stop turning your mic off.
well, I don't want to hear. I don't want the slurpy sound going on,
Oh,
but
okay.
uh, you know, I know the other day that we got into a fairly uh, active conversation with Ray and my beliefs about UFOs and flying saucers and so forth.
Okay.
And but and I'll keep talking about. Well, I get magazines in the mail
Yeah.
just to edify myself and keep my brain going.
Okay.
And uh, National Geographic, Biblical Archaeology, and some another archaeology magazine. But when you see these structures, okay, I think what got him was I mentioned about the one structure where the only half of the individual is sticking out of the ground. I think it's the archipelago islands. I think it is. That is correct. But they started digging down deeper to find that this thing is like 3 times the actual size of what we actually can see.
Okay.
The thought pattern, and they had evidence, and I don't have it with me handy, suggests that a alien race of people of this height came to our planet, helped the humans over here to build, to live, and survive, and in return they built these things to edify themselves. But you can go further back, where you see images carved into stone of these old cities, where it has the appearance of flying saucers,
Right.
aliens, spacecraft, even the caveman drawings all show
Yeah.
some type of reflection to a power, higher than what their caveman is. So I know it kind of like smacks in the face of Christian belief that God created us by Adam and Eve out of clay. Okay, um, not saying that that's not true, but is it
Okay.
not also possible that God could be, a super alien?
God
Who
can
knows?
God can
But
be many things.
but at the same time, couldn't also believe that God created all these other creatures. You can't have multiple billions of planets, and only one planet has all the right materials to allow a species like ourselves to live.
Well,
There has
I,
to be more to it than that. And I
I've
think
al-
this year we'll find out.
I've always thought that there was life on the other planets, but as the residents or inhabitants of those planets trashed them beyond whatever, or were trashed beyond whatever, then it worked down to the Earth. Are the other planets trying to re inhabit? Maybe. Should they? Yeah, they should. I don't believe that we are alone in the galaxy or universe or whatever, because I don't see the need for God to create something that big for just one planet if he wasn't going to use it. And as I started to say, God spelled backwards is dog, so maybe there's a connection there. I'm not the one to bring all the connections and all the possibilities uh, that could come into that discussion. But if people want to join us, they're more than welcome to speak for themselves.
Well, speaking of Cuba, this just came across my newsreel. Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Yeah, George is my editor. It looks like Cuba's ready to talk to the United States. Uh,
Okay.
they need help. They are bracing for severe fuel shortage. Before I read that sentence, Trump just came across the other day and said that between what we have and the oil we stowed, I'm sorry, the oil that we were given by Venezuela, equals 76% of all the oil available to the
Okay.
governments. So Cuba is bracing for severe shortages for energy, and they are now ready to talk dialogue with the United States. Wow, isn't that something?
Well, I
Um,
want to see what they have to say because Trump, very early on in this Maduro thing, said that the U.S. was more than willing to sell oil to the Russians, but we need to hear what the price they're willing to pay is. We're willing
yeah,
to sell it to China. We just have to hear what the price and the terms are. And that's what we have to hear. And I don't think, but I may be the only one on earth that thinks this, that he went in and stole the oil. He went in and is the steward of the oil on behalf of the Venezuelan people. And I'm sure that at some point they could literally kick him out and tell him that they will take care of their own oil, and maybe that is what they should do. I don't give much attention to the he wants to go here, he wants to go there, he wants to buy this country, he wants to buy that country, because generally it becomes the House of Representatives and the Senate have to be in agreement on what a president wants to buy, and the House is more important because they control the purse strings. So if you're talking about buying something, you got to have a Republican House. You got to have a Republican Senate, hopefully, to approve it, and then they go on. He signs his name to it, and then they go on. You know, it's just more distractions than people are getting real answers to real questions. And it just leads to other real questions that I don't really want to ask because nobody really answers them.
I do want to get this out before I run out of time.
Okay,
I always support the South for various reasons,
right.
but the South is doing something unique. Okay,
Okay,
um, the war is over, and they agree that they lost the war. Okay, they just want to be left alone. But the left liberals, the Democrats, are constantly harassing them for the way they talk, the way they live, the statues, the monuments, the graves, and so forth. Okay. Uh, when President Trump was in the office the first time around, he created a law. I guess the law might have been one of his, uh, uh, uh,
executive rule.
executive orders. Thank you.
Okay,
Where if someone was found guilty of defacing any statute, but specifically a Confederate statute, there would be a $10,000 fine, time spent in prison. But if I'm correct, I think you also put aside federal land that should a statue or monument be that disgusting to the left, that they could remove it in its entirety and relocate it to this land where people go and see it. So fast forward 4 years where he had his election stolen, Trump's back in office. So the people are again saying that this is the time where if they want to get any type of protection, um, they're going to have to do it while Trump is in office. So right now, uh,
okay,
the organization as the SIA is trying to get some laws passed to protect the people of the South from being discriminated against. And I won't go into that part.
okay.
That's very,
Oh,
very.
that's okay.
But what they're trying to do also to help protect the monuments and so forth is there's some unique plant life, trees, flowers, bushes, and so forth, unique to the South that is being destroyed because of modern technology, having built cities and so forth, and just not being taken care of. So what they're wanting to do is to try and get the seeds and so forth of these endangered plant life, which is protected by federal law. And here's where the tricky thing is: they're going to plant these bushes and flowers and so forth around the monuments and statues and cemeteries where there's Confederate people, uh, with the thought process that an organization cannot come in and remove the statue, monument, or grave because of also having the endangered plant life being there. I
Well,
think
okay, go ahead.
no, that's I think it's pretty
It,
interesting.
it's a good thing. It's interesting. It's talk on the table, but I think people just look at it as more division. Now the South is gonna divide itself from the United States, splitting us into. I've already said I don't think it's going to ever happen. If the South comes back and wins the war, maybe it will happen, but I don't think so. Uh, so again, I come back to the ever immortal question: why can't we just break bread and agree on what we agree on, and what we don't just what we disagree on, we need to work on.
And I agree. And the people in the South, they have the differences of groups. Some groups still want to split. Some groups want to say, okay, let's just live here, but leave us the hell alone. I mean, they're not allowed to teach their own children in a public school about the truth about the South, about the heritage and so forth. They're trying to get them to where they don't talk the way they do because of where they live and so forth. And so they're trying to peacefully just. It's sort of like if look at the way how the left liberals are. You know, uh, you can't say anything bad about someone of a certain religion or color of skin without a town being burnt down. Okay, the South doesn't do that, but for what 100 some odd years, they're still being attacked and ridiculed and facing all kinds of discrimination because they try to separate themselves from a government they felt and still feel was using them simply for a bank. Um, and even after the war, it still continued. But I just think it's pretty neat. First off, bringing back the life of the certain plants and so forth that are extinct or nearly extinct. I think that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, here we are. We're trying to bring back mammoths and saber-toothed tigers and so forth. Why not bring back some plant life? It's good for the environment, you know.
It,
So I think it's pretty cool. A cool idea.
it is, but I don't think that on any front that militaries are going to worry about the plants that are around a statue. I mean, where I am on that whole thing is that statue belongs where it was. It went up at a time when people thought it belonged there, so they put it up. So to go in and tell them, no, you need to take it down and put it in a warehouse or put it where other people, someplace else other than where it is, so that we can do our own thing where it is. No, it's wrong. Okay? It's history. The statue went up. It belongs there. If we as a people decide the statue doesn't belong there, then we as the people can take it down. But again, it's history. It belongs there. The problem that we made is that too many people came here over a period of time, and we have been forced because we have been forced by the left to accept them as if they were citizens and do things their way. And in other countries of the world, I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. Well, I mean, it is happening. It's happening in London, but I don't know why it's happening in London. If you go into a high school cafeteria or a school cafeteria and you don't want pork, you shouldn't buy pork. Plus, you shouldn't buy pork because it was cooked in a way different than your religion anyway, so don't buy it. If you want it, then maybe those students need to get together and say, hey, it needs to be cooked this way. But you know what? The schools can't accommodate everybody that comes in and says it's got to be cooked a certain way. You know,
Well, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, a person who was Jewish and I know you guys also have your different groups of
There are
variations of
you're right. There are different
okay,
branches of Judaism, just
and
like there are in the other church, and some of them do eat kosher, and some
correct
don't.
kosher.
Some don't.
Now,
Some
now,
don't.
now, what a student now in that case of a student living in a kosher environment family, would he or she go to a private school, or they go to a public school? And if they go to a public school, couldn't they make a fuss about the food not being kosher?
They could, but from what I've seen, they don't. They just buy what they want, or they bring what they want, and that's the same way that it should be for the Muslims or any
Correct.
other any other group of people. If your religion says that you don't eat pork the way it is cooked in the school, then you obviously don't buy pork in the school, or you bring your own. Uh, we're being asked to give up things that we decided were American long before they came here because it offends them. Well, if it offends you so badly, maybe you shouldn't be here.
Mm.
You know, when they come to me and they say you can't drink coffee on your show anymore because it offends us, I'm going to look at them and say, I'm sorry, but that it offends you, but I'm going to drink coffee on my show.
Hmm. I'm
And
looking.
it. I hope I'm not slurping. If I'm slurping my coffee,
No,
then
no, you're fine.
no, I know. But if I'm
Uh,
my coffee being rude with it, then yeah, that deserves the majority saying no more coffee for you on our show, or turn your mic off when you take a sip. But then I will forget most likely to turn my mic back on.
so you know, I made a mistake one day for Christmas. I won't do it next year.
Okay,
To make sure that my family had a decent Christmas for once in many, many, many years,
okay,
I opted not to uh, make a payment on my electric bill, right?
okay,
And I was current, and I figured, I'll just skip 1 month and
okay.
pick up difference the following month. Well, I was in a payment plan,
Yeah,
right? So when I missed the payment, of course, the payment plan went away. Next thing you know, I have this whopping electric bill,
okay,
and I'm panicking. So they said, "Well, Mr. Rose, don't worry. During winter, we won't shut you off. You make payments as you can, get it caught up.
mhm,
So we don't do that. So that's great. Okay. So I did reapply for the payment plan, which I was approved for. So that's good. So I'll be back to being
yeah,
normal again. But
okay,
during the process of talking to the lady about the electric, I'm saying to her, I said, look, I said, how in the hell did my bill get so damn high? And she looked. They have the ability with these smart meters to
yeah,
tell you when your electricity is being used the most.
yeah,
And she found out that there's two time frames in the day that spikes my electric, from
okay,
3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. and from 5:30 p.m. to
yeah,
7:30 p.m.
yeah. Because
Well,
everybody
those
was
those happen to be the time frames where I have this. We have a cat that she loves being in the garage, and even though I've made some other decisions, anyways, she sleeps in a place in the garage, and the garage is freaking ass cold. Okay,
okay,
so I have this little heater, space heater, which I have on very minimal, so it turns on, which I thought was only every so many hours, but apparently the garage is so damn cold, it's running pretty much.
mhm,
So she said, "Well, Miss Rose, that's part of your problem." I said, "The other problem is this: is that my family loves keeping the thermostat at 65 freaking degrees. They're
okay,
comfortable. I'm freezing my ass off. I'm upstairs while trying to work for 10, 11 hours, and I'm in like a refrigerator. So I go downstairs and I turn the heat up to 70. And that's the
okay.
time frame where this electricity spikes
Well,
because it has to heat up a cold house.
okay.
So we just can't get on board with some type of plan to keep
Well,
everybody happy. Um,
okay. You have to keep yourself the way you want to be kept. But understand that everybody wants to be the same way between 3 and 5 and 5 and 7. So that's just the way you're going to be. And the only other thing I can say to consider is maybe a smaller place that uh, doesn't require heat to the level of you've got to heat the downstairs before it gets to the upstairs. You know, uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's only me and Donna and a cat that goes wherever she wants to go, and you know, we don't have we don't seem to have that problem other than we're getting used to whatever the temperature needs to be, and you need to be comfortable where you are. You know,
So what's wrong with what's the guy's name here? Come on, stupid mouse, move. Come on. Shannon Tatum. I just saw. He's in the hospital. He had some kind of head surgery,
okay,
but the article doesn't say why.
okay.
I wasn't sure if you heard anything on your end.
No, no, I didn't hear who you said it was about.
It's Shannon Tatum.
I don't know. No, I didn't hear. I didn't hear anything.
Some kind of brain surgery, huh?
Okay.
You're hearing a lot about that. Your music people, your actors
Yep.
having mental things going on. It's like, what the hell? What's wrong with the Hollywood? Why is so many people coming down with these weird diseases?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why they're coming down with weird diseases. Uh, the weirdest disease that I seem to be hearing out of there is that if you're a MAGA supporter, we don't want your money anymore and we don't want you at our shows. To which I always respond to most of them, I wasn't going to your shows anyway. So now that you're telling me that you don't want my money is just another excuse to not go to your shows. I mean, back in the old days, they didn't do this. They had promoters, they had whatever, and the money that came in allowed them to do their shows and do many of them. And now, hey, if you don't want to be in the United States performing, or you don't want to be in the city or town or whatever it is performing, then don't go someplace else.
I didn't know. I did not know Elvis had a twin that died young.
He
Did
did.
you?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yes. He had a twin brother, and the twin brother passed away. And some people believe that the twin brother could have been bigger than he was. I don't know. I didn't really follow a lot of it other than knowing he does have a twin.
Hmm. Well, I want to see if I save this one thing because I follow this one singer. He's a minister.
Pastor Bob.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
not can you agree with me and say that this guy has got to be Elvis? I mean, something to do with his
Yeah.
jawline, his teeth, a
Yes.
watch. The
Yes
way
and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Priscilla had been rumored to slip, I guess, every once in a while and say he really is. And as far as knowing, she'd know, I hope, that if he was. But I honestly, I don't follow that movement because, again, some of that movement is just the guy that says he is JFK Jr. He could be, I don't know, but just to me doesn't sound like he is.
And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is that he's a minister and he sings, and I'm sure most of his followers go there because he looks and sounds like Elvis. But now he's going out on tour. I'm not sure if he's still preaching or not, but he's going out, he's touring, and he's singing all this. The dude looks and sounds. If he's not, he is Elvis's triplet.
He does look like, well, he does carry some of the looks, and he does sound like him. But then again, the imposter set or the tribute bands, they make sure they sound like whoever they're paying tribute to. And do we have to worry about whether or not it's? I mean, we have missed in this country, I think, some pretty good musicians that we don't go to because politics got involved in it. We don't go to Bruce Springsteen because politics got involved. We don't go to this one because politics got involved, or that one because their politics got involved. It's like, Dennis DeYoung used to say before he sang The Grand Illusion that, when you see the sign, Dennis DeYoung and Sticks, it's a break from reality. And, that's what all of this stuff was. The NFL, before they went political, was a break from the real world. Wrestling was a break from the real world. It all was a break from the real world. But now it's all political. And, I hate that it's gotten political.
Yeah, speaking of political, the NFL, okay, but like this guy named Bad Bunny. So he's going to do his performance in Spanish, right? And he was asked, are you not concerned that a lot of people watching the NFL won't understand what you're saying? Well, they have 4 months to learn Spanish.
No.
Well, don't you also have 4 months to learn how to sing in English? Because we don't know what he's going to be saying, politically or otherwise in the songs.
If he either refused to have subtitles and expected us to learn Spanish, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's not the halftime show.
I'm surprised Trump decided to go.
Oh, he's the president of the United States. If he can go to something like that, he's going to go to something like that. But it's also a man who grew up loving football, so he's going to go.
Yeah.
It's too bad that he can't be Donald Trump, the citizen. While he's there, he still has to be Donald Trump, the president. The guy who taught me radio broadcasting, Robert Zepernick, taught us all. He was another student, but he said to me one day that, no, when he's on the air as Ransom Youth, I'm Ransom Youth. I'm that character. I'm not Robert Zepernick, the student general manager of the station. I'm there to do that one job, and that's what I focus on. And that's really, these people don't have time because they make every minute what they do. I still think that the Clinton hearings are sad, although Hillary seems to be asking for a public hearing. I guess she gets 2. She gets the one deposition, because depositions evidently are private and closed door, and then she gets a public opportunity if she wants to talk publicly.
What do you think's going to come out of that?
I don't think anything's going to come out of it other than they're going to sit in a room, they're going to talk about some things, then they're going to talk about where they're going to go and get drunk.
Well,
then they're going to leave.
Do we know who's asking the questions?
We won't know who's asking questions, but you can assume that Democrats are going to be Democrats and Republicans are going to be Republicans. And it really doesn't matter. Like with Scott Bessent lately, the Secretary of the Treasury, it's great to see him in a committee hearing, regardless of who asks him the question. He tells them what they want to know, regardless of the fact of whether or not they want to know it. He doesn't give them the soundbite that Democrats are hoping that they're going to give him. And he sounds very learned, like a very learned man.
I just hope that these two are what causes the rest to fall, because I personally believe that these women, these girls and boys back when they were young deserve some type of retaliation or whatever you want to call it against the men and against the women who abused them. My daughter, I haven't had a chance to look into, but my daughter said they actually cooked some of the children and ate them.
Oh yeah, but again, there's so much that has gone on between both Republicans and Democrats that you don't know who's lying. You don't know who's telling you the truth. They never agree on one thing. I mean, people vote, Democrats vote with the Republicans vote with the Democrats. They never tell you one thing that they both agree on. And it's like with Democrats, I know it's not okay that Donald Trump wants to do something, but it was okay when Joe Biden and Barack Obama did it.
Yeah.
And Barack Obama was in front of the microphone saying it. One guy yesterday even came on his video. I forget who he was, but he came on and said that Barack Obama deported this many people, and Trump has only deported this many people, and you have to decide who is right. But if you listen to Tom Homan, he deported people when he worked for Obama. A lot of people. He deported a lot of people while he has worked for President Trump. So again, who do you believe? Everything is so much of a distraction that they don't tell you what you need to know.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
It is. It is.
Let's talk to me. I'm texting my grandson.
Terry Todd says ICE should have rated Hollywood's biggest predators awards ceremony that gave Don Lemon a standing ovation for what he did. Don Lemon is Don Lemon's own worst enemy. Don Lemon wants to say, well, I was only there because I'm a journalist. Well, if he was only there because he was a journalist, why was he there? Because the people that brought him in to the invasion were they brought him into an invasion. And what did they expect for him bringing them in? And he asked, as far as I'm concerned, stupid questions like, why are you dressed in such a nice suit? Why do you drive this car? Why do you drive that car? That's a stupid question as far as I'm concerned, because if the people who are members of your church pay for you to be in the suits that you're in and drive the car that you drive, that's because they want to see you in those suits driving that kind of car. No, it's really stupid. It might be signs of why religion should be taxed, just like any other business. But realistically, that's not the issue that we face in America right now. You do something wrong, you deserve to be busted for it. And unfortunately, he did something wrong, and he deserved to be busted for it.
I don't know. I think he wound up making more money off that, because after the fact, he got on different talk shows to talk about his experience. I think he did it for more exposure. I mean, for him just to happen to be there when that group of people went into the church, he knew they were going to be there.
He didn't just happen to be there. They knew that he was going to be there. Because they are as bad as he was. They were looking for someone like him to be there. He's playing the talk show circuit, like you said. He's making a whole lot of money. He's making himself look good. He's trying to clean himself into something that that he never was. He had an opportunity to be the head of the news department at Twitter, which is now X. He had an opportunity to be that way, but he decided that no, it wasn't the right experience. It wasn't the right role for him. I don't know what he's trying to find. If he's trying to chase ratings and he did this for ratings, then no, he deserves whatever gets thrown at him.
Yeah. Yes, well, it's 11 o'clock. My time is up.
Yeah,
Too bad that
it is.
Raymond couldn't be here.
It
I'm
was
not
too
sure,
bad.
what the problem there is,
But
but hey, at
we're
least we
hoping.
got through with no problem on our end. Like the last time we
Well,
had the blackout twice. So whatever was causing that must have fixed itself.
we'll we'll hope that we have him back and he gets a chance to speak. I like having him on.
Yeah.
I really do. I like having him on. Uh, Everybody gets the factual, and whatever we call ourselves. Drink coffee and have fun, and drink coffee.
Okay, you take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay warm.
You too. All right, Randy. I enjoy having Randy Rhodes on. All roads lead to home, genealogy, and lots of Southern stuff. And you have to go and watch the Southern stuff yourself and decide how you feel, if you have an option to decide how you feel. Well, I mean, you have a right. You have a right to decide how you feel. So you have a right to decide how you feel. But gentleman that likes the South and what has not happened and what has happened. So go listen to his Southern stuff as well as his genealogy stuff. He may not find fortune and fame that was part of your genealogy, and then he might all of a sudden find fortune and fame and all of that was part of your genealogy. But you have to try. His rates are lower than anybody else, so give him a try. Email him and give him some ideas of what you're looking for, and he will try to find it. So I'm going to read this one more time. Terry Todd said, ICE should have raided Hollywood's biggest predators award ceremony that gave Don Lemon a standing ovation for terrorizing churches. Yes. I don't know if ICE should have raided it. I just think that they should have not been allowed to say what they said. I think it's more of an FCC problem. Yes, they have a right to say it, but not everybody has to hear it. I mean, the networks make decisions on what programs they run, but the TV stations, if you don't agree, should have cut away from it and into something else. I personally don't think that Don Lemon needed to get a standing ovation for terrorizing churches, if that's what you want to call it, which is really what it was, and to tell me that, oh, I did it because I needed to show I could still report something and play the talk show circuit that he's the big guy that reported it. No, I don't believe in that either. Okay, you're going to make money wherever you are, however you are, play it however you are. And, sometimes you just don't need to do it. I don't believe that he was brought in so that he could be there to expose what the invaders were going to do as they were going to do it. Okay? I don't think the invaders really if you ask them, wanted to be there doing what they did. So I could be mistaken, but I don't know. Anyway, it's Friday. Go out there and make it a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend. Spend time with your family, hug them, kiss them, love them, and just remember they were there for you. So you sometimes have to be there for them. We're on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We are always open. That means that you can come into a chat room or a live chat, and be a part of the broadcast. Speak for yourself. You also have the opportunity to come on to a broadcast if you let me know ahead of time that you want to be on a broadcast. You are more than welcome to be on a broadcast. The only thing I ask really is that you just treat everybody with the respect that you yourself expect. That's all. Hate me before you come on, but come on and have fun and do what we do. And afterwards, pick up the hatred and go into your world doing whatever you want to do. It's just that easy. I like doing what I do. And to those on the FB that really are concerned about subscriptions and this and that, I don't charge you the $2.99 subscription. I don't charge you a $1.99 subscription. I don't even charge you 99-cent subscription because they got more important things to do with your money. I'm not here for your money. I do every once in a while mention a coffee cup and show it to you and try to sell it. But, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. This Saturday, we will be near Cultivate on Park Avenue in Jacksonville and doing one of Donna and my daughter-in-law's craft shows and selling anything and everything. And if you're looking for beautiful handmade crochet items, go to Donna Jean Creations and Willow's Craft Corner and look around and see what is there. If you don't see what you want in the colors that you want or don't see what you want, send a message because custom orders are always accepted with a smile. And that's all I'm going to say on that because I didn't really have anything planned. And you get to see Cupcake the Eagle and you get to see other beautiful items that they have made. And I don't want to spoil it for you by telling you about it. I want you to go and see. Okay? If you do, tell Dave sent you. He'll be the old man that'll be sitting there next to Donna on Saturday. And come on out and have a good time. The weather's supposed to be great here in Florida. The weather's 51 degrees over sunny skies here in Florida. So we're getting back to real Florida weather. Might have to wait another week to see it happen. I said to Donna yesterday, I'd like to see a return to shorts weather because I've got a drawer full of shorts that I should be in so that I can really be an old man in Florida with shorts and black socks on. So y'all come and see that and have a good time. Anyway, like I said, if you want to be on a Boogie with the Bull and you have an idea for a Boogie with the Bull, all you got to do is let me know, and odds are you will be able to do it at 10 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or select times in the evening. You have to let me know because most of the time in the evening I spend with the American Rebellion, Jerry Michaels and company, and we talk about anything and everything. Last night We talked about cars for a while, ongoing discussion there. And I'm not a mechanic, I'm not mechanically inclined. So I really did enjoy the conversation because, as I had said, if I learned things in high school, I think I would have been better suited for being a limousine company general manager and or owner rather than just dropping my car and saying it's doing this clunk 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 clang and I just need it fixed because then you do spend money that maybe you didn't need to spend all of the money. You just needed to get something fixed. But then again, you find people that don't take all of your money and are respectable, and it's hard to find them. But anyway, we're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Selected Saturdays at 10 a.m. and selected night times at 7 p.m. You have to let us know for that. And those times are Eastern. All 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock are Eastern. Anyway, go make it a fantastic weekend, as I said. And I'm going to hit this one, which will end it